Hey, what's up?
Welcome to Vibe Osmosis. Thank you for taking the time. How's it going?
Dude, chilling, man, chilling. Sitting in like this sunroom in Louisville, Kentucky right now, kind of remaking some more merch because we ran out. So we want some for the last 3 days of this tour that we're on.
So is this one kind of DIY handcraft? Are you like making the CDs or shirts or stuff?
Oh yeah, well, so not as much as the shirts. We collaborated with an artist from Jacksonville for that.
Those are cool.
Partially, and
Yeah.
then
Okay.
one of us finished the design on our back. But we're actually making these kind of like um, you know, kind of like these Glazed Club bracelets that we're hand making with some friends in Kentucky right now. It's pretty
Um.
cool with beads and everything like that, all personalized with different colors. It's a lot of fun. Something for us to do together too, which is nice.
I want to go ahead and say I dig into your music and I like this new record you guys are supporting. Will you go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do and your band?
Cool. Dude, thank you for saying those words. That means a lot. My name's Liam Murphy. I play drums and I play drums for the band Glazed from Jacksonville, Florida. And I don't know, we play kind of like this. I mean, a generic term would be alternative rock, but like going more into it, be kind of like this wave of Florida emo that comes from the roots of, You Blew It into Kimbe, and kind of our own, fandom for pop punk is intertwined with some of the songwriting as well. But yeah, I'm Liam. I play drums for Glazed.
And how long have you been making music?
Um, Justin, so we all have been kind of like at making music at different points. Our singer and bassist actually were in a band when they were like 14 together. And then when I was 16, Justin and I started playing music. So we've been doing this for over a decade now, like maybe like 13, 14 years, making music kind of, and we didn't really come up in, the kind of cover music. We just been jamming with each other with our own music, kind of just navigating through the love of it. And then this is kind of what's come from that.
And what's your astro sign? Do you follow it?
Yeah, I mean, our band is mostly Aquarius, but Justin was born astrology sign. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, me, the drummer and the bassist Brian. We're both Aquarius because we're born in February, and then Justin is a Leo. He was born in August. He's got that lion in him. Cool.
And
What about you?
well, they say I'm Scorpio, but I don't know if I believe it either.
Yeah, hey, I mean, we know about it, but we don't let anything determine how we live our lives.
Well, yeah, I say that because like my dad, he's born on the same day, but like me and my dad are, kind of different. So it
Yeah,
just shows how
yeah,
it'll be.
for sure. Yeah, I totally feel that. I share that. I share that kind of skepticism, but some it works for some people, so it can let them work. But for us, I don't think we like to let a certain thing identify us. You know, we'd rather speak through how we live our life.
And about yourself, kind of what's some of the music like you've been listening to lately?
Lately, honestly, this tour I was introduced to a band called Cheem, Cheem, and I guess that shows what team we're on. We're Team Cheem. But that's probably the newest record that really like caught my attention. Like, whoa, they blend a lot of styles that you've heard before, but you've never heard it how they do it, which was really cool and interesting to us. But we also like to stick to our roots. I mean, something that's always jamming in the car right now is Weatherbox. Um, Definitely. And we have a collection of like the classics. Like um, I don't know, Saves the Day, Blink 182, everything kind of in that realm, and stuff that makes us feel nostalgic. We all come from different musical backgrounds with that kind of stuff, but there's some connections. There's some bands that we all can really appreciate, and Weatherbox is definitely one of them.
Yeah, that's a really good choice. And so what cartoon characters do you think everybody resembles wise?
Hmm. Well, we did rip a shirt. We did rip a shirt from Ed, Ed and Eddie. So that's the first cartoon that comes to mind, and it's we're a three piece, so it's like Ed, Ed and Eddie. But I don't know. Like, I think I don't think I could speak for the other guys on that. But for me personally, hmm, I haven't thought about that. I really like Billy from Billy and Mandy. I don't know if like if I like if I can connect too much with like his specific personality. Like I think I could take a couple cartoon characters, but like my real name's William, and one person
Yeah.
knows me as Billy, and I connect with Billy on that
And
spiritually for some reason.
all right, so what sitcom do you think that you would probably choose to be stuck in for like the rest of your life if you had to choose?
A sitcom. Hmm. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. That '70s show.
Oh, that's a really funny one.
Yeah.
That show definitely is great for its era right now.
Yeah.
It took me a
Yeah.
while to know what the circle was.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think we can all shoot like beers at the water tower and stuff like that. I was like, dang. I just look at water towers. I'm like, damn, people used to climb those.
Yeah, like we actually used to do that.
Yeah. It seemed like romance was still innocent in that kind of era. I don't know. It just seemed different. It's nice.
All right, and what colors do you think are your dreams?
What colors are my dreams? Let me think. Justin just described a dream where he was seeing like someone with like a terrible disease on their skin that was like green and purple. Um, I think personally, the colors that I see in my dreams, well, like when you first asked that, like the dream that comes to my mind, I feel like it was a lot of blue from like the water that was surrounding like this dock-like structure that I was standing on. But I don't know. Like I think that's a great question that I'll think more about when I dream again because it's mostly situational stuff that I remember when waking up, not the specific setting that's around it. But that's a good question.
And do you have like a favorite movie or like a favorite director?
Um, well, I think the director would be Gaspar Noel. I mean, he just I'm let me make sure I'm saying that right. It's a French director, and I'm probably not. It's not Noel, but it's Noe. Noe. But that's something that I think we could all say that like not our favorite director, but that's a director we talk about all the time. But for a movie, me personally, my favorite movie is Anacondas.
Oh, that was a classic. That one's a banger
Yeah.
still. Have you
I
ever
don't think it was
seen?
Anacondas, Anaconda with Ice Cube, with
Yeah,
Owen Wilson,
yeah,
J Lo.
the original, the OG.
Yes, that
Um,
was like that was a comfort movie as a kid for me.
did you ever watch the Deep Blue Sea?
Oh yeah, yeah, same kind of era with Jessica Alba.
Yeah, that movie for me was like, okay, like that could happen at any point in time in my life. Like growing up as a kid, I was like, you never know whenever I'm just hanging out on the boat and
Yeah.
just like shit goes wrong and there's a goddamn like great white shark in the fucking
Oh
the
my
movie's
God,
ridiculous.
yeah. Yeah, and dude, we grew up in Florida, so like we went to the beach all the time. So movies like that, like it was like it definitely made you more skeptical of like stepping into the water. He's like, oh my God,
That's
it's like
true.
Jaws and all that stuff. Yeah, that dude, that's yeah. I feel like those two movies are kind of related in the same like horror family, you know?
I checked out that you guys are on tour right now. So like you have like a favorite spot that you've been to so far or a spot that you're looking forward to?
Oh man, I mean, like honestly, this has been our best tour yet, and every spot has had like something special that for us to like keep in our memories. I think we're riding off the high of like, we had great things that happened in the first leg, and we're coming off like the second leg, the second half of this leg of the tour, and we're riding off this high that of the show in Cleveland at Grog Shop, which just like it was just all love. Like, the local bands were excellent. It was like we were like, okay, we like the local bands were really set the night up well with the energy and everything. And then when we were playing, just a great show, there's something special that is like felt out in the room when we felt that there. And it's a legendary venue where so many cool people have played. So it
It
was
is
just all
very
around a great
legendary.
experience. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Leah who helps promote it. Shout out to Nick who helped book it. And then, yeah, shout out to them because they did a great job setting everything up to be comfortable, choosing the great, like correct local bands. And we got to play with we got to kind of intertwine a tour with another band named Boy Jr. who put on an awesome performance.
Yeah, they are a very cool band actually. I've came across some of their stuff live too.
Yeah, great.
All
Yeah,
right.
they did this hyperpop Mr. Brightside cover, and it was just like, whoa.
Oh, I'm a fan of
Yeah.
those Killers early stuff and Panic at the Disco, that era.
Yeah. Come on, dude. The Killers drummer's like excellent rock drummer. For me personally, I have some influence. I mean, not residual influence from just listening to his records a ton.
Yeah, so I wanted to get into that. What are some of your music influences? Some of the like earlier bands like you got into that like inspired you to get into it.
Inspired me to get into music. I don't know, man. Like honestly, the first band that really sticks out whenever I think of, like a band that I feel like changed my life and and when I say change my life, just I think when you listen to certain music, it can make you start thinking differently about certain things. And like the band that comes to mind that like I think about all the time because it was like the only band where even though the lyrics are kind of like way out there, it just felt like the lyrics spoke like right. Like I could hear them so clearly, even though they're so like metaphorical and stuff like that. But the band Weatherbox is definitely like, it's the type of band where it's unique. You can feel the passion in it, and it's very creative. It's a band that I've never heard any other band sound like. So I would say Weatherbox is that band for me.
And I want to name out some of like those bands that like you've seen live that you were like, oh, like what they're doing live is great.
Oh, bands like I'm thinking. Let me think. I mean, like some of the most like not like some of the most active and energized shows that I can remember going to as a kid were like the like I don't know, there was let me think. Jacksonville hardcore has strong roots, so I mean, Kids Like Us comes to mind when I think about some of the most brutal shows that I've been to. Some of the I think early shows, one of the first local shows that really gave me that like, oh, I like fucking love live music was this pop punk band from Jacksonville called We Still Dream. Their guitarist ended up recording one of our records. Let me think of who else. Let me think. Some other bands singing live that just inspired me. I mean, those I feel like when we go to shows, there's I'm trying to think of the Wonder Years. I think one of those early shows when they were touring the Elegy of Blue or that 2-song EP right before the Upsides, that had some energy that I've never seen at a show before. But I mean, honestly, the festival that keeps on coming to mind that inspires me every year that I go is called the Fest in Gainesville. And though every year you go to that, there's hundreds of bands that play at like maybe 10 different venues. It feels like those are numbers that I'm just throwing out there, but it's close to that. And whether you go for a band that you listen to or you just go for the experience, you will feel a performance there that is inspiring and just like something that you've never seen before. And that's something that luckily, you know, can happen at any time at a live show. But I would say those couple bands and that festival was very inspiring.
I've actually been down to Florida a few times, kind of just like on my own terms, like you street kid wise. So I definitely understand like how some of the stuff in the scene can be like, hit or miss, especially like in downtown like Miami area where I was. Like everybody was like, once you're in the Wynwood district, you'll definitely find some better shows. But it was always like,
Yeah.
you still have to kind of spread out to find like what like fits for you. Have
Yeah,
you
I agree.
have you
I agree
enjoyed kind
completely.
of like this new tour, getting like the new perspective, I guess, too, on like other new bands or like new live stuff too?
Yeah, that's a good question. We are so stoked to be playing in these cities that we've never played in before because it's allowing us to kind of what I love personally most about it is like seeing a city that's vibrant with a music scene and playing with these local bands and meeting them and just realizing outside of your own local scene, there's so many like-minded people that are participating in this for the love of it. And being able to have that connection with people in each city is awesome. And it's like nice to experience that in each city because it's like, you don't feel isolated in your own. It's like, okay, there's stuff going on everywhere. And like, it's fun to see how different, scenes are inspired by different musics that might get big, modern music or anything like that. But the, that's one of our favorite parts right now is like just tapping in, meeting, and kind of introducing ourselves to these scenes as well. So yeah, we feel inspired every night we get to watch these bands that play.
And also, I want to get into like the recording process. Like, how
Mhm.
does it kind of break down for everybody? Is it like there's lyrics first? You're like working on a melody. You're adding drums first. Kind of go into it.
So it starts with our singer Justin Beliches. He kind of demos out maybe no lyrics yet, but maybe like a riff on a guitar with some structure. And so we get that sent to. We just have a group chat like on a voice memo. You know what I mean? And then after that's sent, it now that we're all kind of spread out in different cities now, but because of the internet and everything, we're able to still connect and write together. So structure kind of gets adjusted as we jam it more together. And then after the structure's finalized, we kind of sit, talk, edit, kind of like, oh, we don't need this part. Oh, maybe to transition into this second verse, we could do this, everything like that. And then we demo. So we'll do rhythm guitar and drums together and we'll just demo it out. And then we'll do bass on top of that. And then once the song's structured and Justin can hear it with everything, lyrics are written. And Justin's the type of guy that has lyrics in his back pocket all the time, but then applying those to melodies. And he does a great job kind of having ambiguous themes for each song where I feel like they can be heard by different people in different ways and be interpreted in different ways. And so after that, we kind of sit down, listen to it more. The song's all demoed out with drums, bass, guitar, lead guitar, and vocals. And then once we have that ready, we kind of send that to the studio as pre-production and then some more slight adjustments and maybe different parts and some input from the producer and stuff might change things slightly. But once we get into the studio, drums first. The last record we did drums and bass together, and then everything is recorded on top of each other. We might have done drums, bass, and rhythm guitar together too, but we wanted to kind of have a real live feel to the rhythm section at least to make
Definitely.
sure that like the energy that we can capture live can be translated onto the record too.
And also, I feel like there's a way of like revibing, is how I like to say it. Like whenever it comes to the live shows, you're able to, have a different kind of set list, or also like
Hmm.
apply, the real aspect of, not being able to just like turn it up or turn it down whenever you want to, per se.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I totally agree. Like it almost feels like each because just like you said that there's like so many different things that go into the live set where it's like okay, kind of putting the songs in a specific order, but then just playing them live for so long, the songs start to evolve a bit too, whether the vocal melody might adjust on this certain part, or there's like the bass riffs is slightly different that connects with the kick pedal that we did differently, or the drum, the drums might have a different fill. So the songs are constantly evolving after recording. And I feel like it's a common thing for musicians to be like, well, it's kind of, I don't know. It's common for me personally as a drummer, where it's like you listen to a record after you played the song for 3 or 4 years after it was recorded and be like, oh, I could have done this differently. But in the live setting, there's an opportunity for you to execute that, which is fun.
That's very true. And in my say, like, I think what I'm more nitpicky about with like the outcome of music is like um not necessarily like how it sounds. It's like, did I get like the vintage sound that like I was wanting to by like transferring it to tape? Or on that project I didn't do
Mm,
that, so like I didn't get to kind of stick to maybe what I wanted, or so there, I
yeah.
feel like with some, like especially like some of the noise bands, some people are like, okay, like now, like I've added on so many more pedals. Like I wish in that
Mm,
first record I was, using that, but now whenever I'm playing that show, it's like I'm reviving that.
yeah.
It's like I've been like a fan of Black Dice, and like Black Dice, they were like kind of one of the bands where they can like crank out the really old material but massage it
Hmm.
in with like what they have going on right now with like the different kinds of
Yeah.
beat machines and that kind of stuff. Um,
Hmm.
and
That's really
also,
cool. I like how you put that.
yeah, I want to also get into with your guys' music. It's progressed throughout the last like 3 records that I've checked out
Yeah.
on, and
Hmm.
like I want to say like you can kind of tell like it's about kind of getting more into like a theme and like the lyrics. Like was that kind of something that everybody was feeding in, or was that just kind of like what happened naturally?
Well, I don't, as a drummer, there's been a couple times where I contribute lyrically, but Justin with his lyrics, from my perspective, is, I think, especially we lived together for like 5 or 6 years. So kind of from my perspective, building the connections of trying to figure out what he's talking about and seeing where those themes are coming from. But honestly, each song kind of has its own idea that he is trying to creatively express through the lyrics that he writes. So and that's all I think I can say on that. And I think yeah, I think that's all I can say on that. You're okay, dude. Ooh, okay. Oh wait, from our own music or other people that we've been listening to? Okay. Here, let me go to Spotify real quick. But if I could, you want bands or specific songs? Okay. Borderline by Pool Kids. Yeah, Borderline by Pool Kids. Um, Let me see. Okay. Kevin, You're Such a Fucking Disease by You Blew It. Um, anything by Dikembe. There's deep cuts and new cuts that just like are incredible. Let's see. Okay. The Mango remix by Cheem. The Mango Glitch Gum remix. And honestly, that whole record by Cheem, Guilty Pleasure, is like crazy, dude. It's insane. Okay. Of course. Kerosene Heights. Honestly, Catherine or Something About You, but their new record is going to be fucking incredible. So Kerosene Heights, No Problem by Career Day. Let me see who else. Let me see. Oh, Are They Actually Attractive by Boy Jr.? That song was so funny to be able to watch. And then, of course, let me see. Intervention from Jacksonville just came out with a new record. When's This Going to End is excellent. Okay, here we go. Someone else, one of our favorite bands from Jacksonville, Bobby Kid, just released a song called 10 Minutes Late, and it's like, dude, it's going to hit you. It's going to hit you. But their whole last album, Peach and Blue and all that stuff, is great. They've released a couple singles. Let me see. A new hardcore band that came out of Jacksonville that has some cool stuff is Shades of War. I think they just Shades of War. Yeah, they just released an EP. They recorded with KOTP Records. Shout out to Trevor Bacon. And also shout out to Drew, Lauren, and Justin from Intervention. Shout out to the Pool Kids guys. I mean, and Dikembe's actually bringing us out on tour, so we're gonna be like, our lives are gonna be in their hands for June. But yeah, I think those are some songs that we're listening to. Let me see. And Zulu's new record.
Yeah, okay. Zulu's solid.
Yeah, Zulu's new record, A New Tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of them.
All right. So
wait,
yeah.
one more.
Uh-huh.
The Holy Ghost Tabernacle Choir.
All right.
Tabernacle Choir.
That is
yeah,
a good
their
one.
their new single's awesome, but Slow Murder has hits all around it. And okay, one more. Flagman. And Flagman, the song, I mean the whole kind of EP or record, Thank You Come Again, and then the whole Zeta. Zeta's another band, but their whole discography. If you see that band live, your life will change. It's crazy.
I haven't seen them live, but I will definitely play them. The one question I want to get before you go is, if you were if you were stranded on an island and you could bring one thing with you, what would you bring?
One thing with me, and I can't bring a boat, right?
I guess you could. That could be your answer.
I mean, a boat, and I'd be gone. But if I was stranded on an island and I wasn't able to get away, let me think. I mean, my initial thing is like for survival, but then pirates used to be when they were, what's the word for it when pirates are left on a deserted island?
Stranded, right?
There's a word for it.
Booted?
Deserted. What'd you say?
Booted? Planked?
Let me see. Marooned. Like marooning. So a pirate, like if they betray the ship or something, they're left on an island, and the only thing they're given is a gun with one bullet in it.
Yeah, it says, see you later, mate.
But I don't think I'd do that. I'm not a quitter. You know what I mean? I'm not a quitter. So maybe like, I don't know, a fire starter.
Fire starter.
Something like that.
That's
know what
clever.
I mean? Or like, if I knew I was going to die, my like favorite food. Because what? I'm not going to let another friend. I won't bring a friend and let them suffer with me. You know. But yeah, maybe one of those things.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time for the interview, and thank you for
Of
joining
course.
Vibe Osmosis. And I hope that it's a good rest of your night, and
Yeah.
uh, and
Yeah.
and
Thanks, dude. Thank you.
and
Thanks for the
hope.
call. We're stoked to do anything like this. And when I saw your name, we thought of Osmosis Jones.
Hey, I love that stuff. You see,
Hell yeah.
the real thing comes from that movie because it's a classic for me.
Awesome, dude. Yeah. For some reason, we just sampled. There's a scene. I love the scene where he's like in the pimple club. You know what I'm talking about? And he's like trying to act undercover. Dude, that scene gets us. That one's a good one. Yeah. 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 How does it all work? Is it gonna be like yeah, how does it work?